Yo, what's up, guys? I was out of town for the entire weekend, so now I'm back here with a brand new video. Hopefully, this isn't old news. I mean, some of you guys are obviously not understanding what's going on. But a couple of days ago, the Pokemon Company issued a statement that they're going to go after certain developers and companies that are essentially copyright infringing their intellectual property, aka, if you're making games that use the company's assets directly, you're going to get sued. Now, I'm not any legal expert whatsoever, but copyright infringement and asset protection and intellectual property is a pretty big deal in the United States. I'm not really sure anywhere else around the world. I'm not an expert of international, politics like that, but the Pokemon Company, being the juggernaut, multi-billion dollar company that they are, they kind of have the right to do this kind of stuff. If they see someone or something, that looks oddly familiar to Pokemon and they're actually using assets and kind of changing them one way or another, or using their trademark to promote other stuff and they're making money off of it, Pokemon and their legal power have the right to do that. So, breaking it down, this was kind of a big news coming out this past week, and obviously, Pokemon is just, flexing their legal power. And if you guys have been living under a rock, there's a new game that's been coming out, and this game is just basically taking the internet by storm. Literally deemed Pokemon with guns. Now, Palworld is the name of this game. It's produced by Pocket Pair. Now, I have to do a little bit more research in regards to this company, but apparently this company here, Pocket Pair, they have delved into the realm of AI arts and creation by using AI. So if you're just looking at this picture right off the bat, yeah, you can somewhat argue that maybe some of these pals, their actual name is actually called pals, might look oddly familiar. But as long as they're not using assets from Pokemon and using it or claiming it as their own, they have nothing to worry about. Now, it turns out there's been a couple things that have been going on. Before we get into it, please like and subscribe. Don't forget, you guys have been amazing so far, and we're going to continue now. So, it turns out the initial report of plagiarism and accusations of copyright infringement isn't directly at Palworld, because as of yesterday, Nintendo is taking legal action with another Pokemon clone that isn't Palworld. Duh. This one happens to be something called Pokezoo. Now, I actually have seen a couple ads of this on my YouTube videos for whatever reason. Not mine directly, but as I'm watching other, you know, people's videos, I've actually seen a couple ads of this. And when I first saw this on my phone, first thing off the top of my head, Pokemon Nintendo, they're gonna go after these guys because boy, ain't no way, boy, you're gonna sell me some crypto trainer boxes, knockoffs of the digital TCG versions of Pokemon, and you're gonna call it Pokezoo. I mean, look, even looking at the, oh my God, they got obviously the Pokeball there. Even the lettering of the Pokezoo logo itself is just oddly familiar to Pokemon, and then of course, that's literally a Gengar. Like, what are we doing here? So it turns out, it's a MetaZoo kind of game where you just, buy stuff and buy cards. And yeah, pretty much it's essentially a crypto kind of game. Remember all those from during the COVID era. And obviously, Nintendo kind of revealed that, hey, yeah, you know what? We're going to go after these guys because, one, they're selling stuff that's under our name. They're using our assets. They're infringing our assets and intellectual properties, and therefore we're gonna sue the hell out of them. Which 99% of the time, Pokemon's gonna win that battle because again, in the United States, or I don't know about anywhere else in the world, but for sure in the United States, it's gonna win. They're gonna win in court because clearly, looking at this logo on its own, yeah, it's not good. But going back to Palworld, now a lot of interesting stuff has been going on with this game. So apparently, haters or Nintendo shills or Nintendo toddlers, as people have been calling them nowadays, they were actually harassing the community manager of Palworld, and basically she decided to stop releasing the sales update of Palworld. Now, the official number of sales of this game was actually 8 million. As of now, according to this Reddit user here who actually uses some sort of software to calculate and actually see the number, the true number of sales, has sold over 20 million copies. And I actually believe this number more because looking at my Twitch and YouTube, now Palworld is just starting to go all over the internet. And again, this isn't the first time that we've seen a Pokemon clone, quote unquote, become a viral sensation. Y'all remember Temtem? Remember when people were saying, hey, Temtem is going to be the next best thing on Nintendo Switch? Literally competing against Sword and Shield on the same Nintendo console that was the Pokemon Switch. And guess what? Temtem, New Toy Syndrome, it did okay, but it was just unplayable to the point that people just forgot about this game. Or, hey, what about the long-standing rivalry of Digimon? There was an actual debate on whether or not Digimon is better than Pokemon. Digimon had the trading card game. Digimon had the merchandise. Hell, Digimon had its own anime and TV show. But of course, over the years, Pokemon has just become much, much bigger than Digimon itself. If you were to put Digimon and Pokemon in a war, yeah, Digimon's going to put up a good fight, but Pokemon's winning on all fronts no matter what. Because guess what? They're the bigger company. They're the ones raking massive amounts of revenue, way more than Digimon. I'll give Digimon respects, but Pokemon is just far superior. But because since Digimon has never had to deal with copyright infringement or have to go to court to deal with this kind of stuff, that's why Digimon still exists, and that's why they're still making games, which, by the way, I've heard they were pretty good games. So a lot of people have been saying that, all these Nintendo fans have been accusing this game in particular of just being, corporal shills. Now, do the fans have the right to point out stuff? Yeah, but they don't have the right to threaten people. I mean, again, if you are Palworld or Pocket Pair, in this instance, the company that developed this, and you actually made your stuff from scratch, you got nothing to worry about. It's not going to hold up in court. It definitely is just a Pokemon. They can investigate you and they can ask, hey, where'd your assets come from? Or what's the intent or purposes of using such products in your game? If they don't see any traces of Pokemon assets whatsoever, hey, they can't do anything about it and let bygones be bygones. And I've noticed a lot of people here saying in the community of Reddit that Pokemon fans are really toxic, working so hard to defend a multi-billion-dollar worth corporation, which I kind of agree to that because at the end of the day, yes, there are hardcore fans, and yes, there are people that love Pokemon to death. But even I'm not going to go on a line and just talk shit to somebody who may have actually put in the actual effort in creating such a good game. And I've heard good stuff about Palworld. It's not the perfect game, but it's been pretty good. The reviews coming in from Steam has been pretty great. I mean, why hate, And again, it's the mentality. Where does that mentality come from? And this person says it itself in one sentence. They buy anything Pokemon offers. That's always going to be the case with Pokemon games. If Pokemon announced Gen 10 right now, how many pre-orders are they going to get? Millions. If they release the next set in Scarlet and Violet TCG, of course, those cards are going to be right off the shelves immediately. And unfortunately, people just don't really see facts versus opinions. That line is always blurred when it comes to that kind of stuff. And then you have stuff like this where it becomes literally toxic to the point that people are getting threatened or harassed online. That's not cool, man. I mean, at the end of the day, yes, there's kids, there's adults in Pokemon, but we're better than that. We're not those kind of people. I don't associate with those kind of people. I have my own opinion in regards to Game Freak and Nintendo on how they should improve their products over the years because, quite frankly, they have been very, very complacent when it comes to that kind of stuff. I'm not going to go threaten a director or a technical public relations person of Nintendo or Game Freak or Pokemon company themselves. Like, come on. We have opinions. Don't bully people because at the end of the day, you don't know what's going on. And obviously, let the legal experts deal with the actual legal stuff. Just because something looks like Pokemon doesn't mean it is Pokemon. Because at the end of the day, we're just fans. Yes, we have a right to say whether or not our opinion matters or not, but again, leave the legal stuff for other people. And it's crazy that, that this attention that Palworld is actually getting is becoming such a big thing that I really hope this is the first step to Pokemon realizing that, hey, we got to step up our games. Because quite frankly, as many units as Scarlet and Violet has sold these past 2 years, or year and a half at this point, its quality in regards to technical and performance aspect was not great. I really hope there needs to be some sort of competition, obviously not clones, but rather competition that enables Pokemon to put out better products. They had a step in the right direction with Pokemon Legends Arceus, but it seemed like they didn't learn from that or use as foundations, and it came out as a clunky product. It worked, the product worked, but the results weren't that great. So I'm hoping this is the first steps of changes like this. Kind of similar to what we're seeing with EA Sports. They have a very, very, very bad reputation when it comes to their games, particularly FIFA. I got 2K as well with NBA 2K. Madden is also becoming, those franchises have started to become so disdainful amongst the community peers of their respective sports games to the point that people are calling for change because complacency is a really big issue. But what do you guys think about this? This is just my 2 cents. I personally believe you shouldn't be out threatening people. That's not right whatsoever. Don't harass people. Again, if Nintendo is knocking on their doors, it's gonna be Nintendo. It's not gonna be the million fans that are gonna be knocking on that door. It's gonna be Nintendo and the Nintendo lawyers that, if they see something going on, especially when they see something like this, where the Pokezoo is becoming, this obviously that's definitely copyright infringement and probably asset infringement as well. But in regards to Palworld, as long as they haven't done anything wrong, we stay back, we watch, and we wait. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. It's your boy Franklin signing out. Peace.